Good morning, friends. Good afternoon for those in different parts of the world. I just put a link in the chat, a holy huge link. It's a big one for some reason, but I pulled up that Stan Hancock casebook where it has the list of everything that they have numbered in the crime scene photos. So if any of you want to follow along, the list starts on page 97, it looks like. Let me bring up the first photo. Hey, everyone. Hey, Jenny and Rachel. Got a few more people coming in. Janice, Brandy, Sam. Gypsy did it. Jalen. Thanks for being here, everyone. Let me get this photo up. Okay, here is where we left off yesterday. Hey, Vanel and Mika, Jenny. Okay, and looking at the case book, and go back to see what number 4 is. Well, on page 98, it seems like it starts on number 8. So I'm not sure. Hey, Toddy. Hey, Forest Friend, Jamie, Elena, Mel. Not sure what they see out there that they've got flagged. Must have used a drone for that one. I think they'll show it closer up, whatever they've flagged by this tree here in a minute. Hey, Syntaz, Janice Harper. Yeah, thanks, Toddy, for being here in the chat. Wow, they've definitely got a drone there. There's the crime scene tape. I know it'll get to closer up pictures of these soon. Zoom in here. Is that looks like a track of some sort. Like this here almost looks like it could be, but there's not on the other side. How strange. Let me look at the comments. No, Toddy, these have been in Into the Weeds Google Drive since last year. Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're marking there. Huh. And then when you get up to the front part up here, it almost looks like there's tracks up there, like foot tracks. Hey, Shorty Pie. Syntaz, there is a list for the markers, and I've pulled up Stan Hancock's casebook. I thought I had found the list, but the area that I found it in starts at number 8. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people have went all the way through these. Toddy was mentioned in the chat. She's never saw these. Let's see. That's the same sidewalk area there. So the fire truck is in the driveway, and this, I think, is the sidewalk. Or no, that's the neighbor's split driveway. That's what it is. An overview of that foliage. Y'all remember Gypsy saying in that video, the foliage? I was wondering about that too, Flower Power, if they're wheelchair marks, but it was strange that there's only just the one side. I would have expected it to be on both sides, but maybe one wheel was sticky or something. Who knows? It's more of the crime scene marked off. Somebody had a little greenhouse back there near them. The fornication foliage. Mel cracks me up. Hey, Panda Unicorn. More overview. They found something really significant about this track. Oh, now we see it up close. Huh. Is that the peel out mark that we've heard about in the driveway, maybe? Oh, Ria's making pizza. Yeah, I wonder too, Janice. Yeah, the people who live there now, it's a mother and daughter, and they're very private and protective. They really, really hate how much attention the place gets, and they uh, had the address changed. Is what I was trying to think of. Those sheds that we saw were outside of the crime scene tape. The shed that she hung out in and had her little kid toys in was a pink one at the end of their driveway. We weren't seeing it in those particular overviews. Yeah, this kinda looks like somebody peeled out in their actual driveway, only got 1 tire spinning or something. What do y'all think, friends? Yeah, I don't know what to think about the jar because, if you've ever cooked a cow's tongue for taco de lengua, which I have many times, it's very tasty. It's a Mexican dish. You know, the cow's tongue is huge. It will not fit in a mason jar. You'd have to cut it, and you'd have to only do like half of it or something. And I don't know what to think about Gypsy's whole story there, honestly. I do know that Dee Dee did enjoy her voodoo dabbling like many, many people did in Louisiana. But that also, that's just not the way that what she described would work in voodoo from what I've read. Oh, interesting. Here we do have 2 tracks. Are these wheelchair tires from, like, that motorized one? They seem too far apart. Now here's where I wish they would have used a scale marker, but we don't have one. What do y'all think, friends? Hmm. Centaz says, "Kinda looks like garbage can wheels." They had rubber ones on the back that could be. Well, no, there's I guess ask and we receive. There's the garbage can, and these are way wider than that. They're also, if we look here, they're wider than this um deal. They're wider than her wheelchair ramps, so I don't think those are wheelchair marks. The cigarette butt, I think, is further on down the sidewalk. Sam says looks like a car. Brandy K, she drove a Nissan Cube. Hey, Jennifer. Huh. So yeah, I think because of the space of these compared to the ramps, we can eliminate wheelchair. Yeah, it might be the Nissan Cube because it does look like possible oil drippings there. Yeah, and the wheels aren't very wide. I bet we'll see pictures of her cube as we go on. It's a smallish car. I don't have experience with Nissan Cubes in person, but when you look at the pictures, it is a smallish car. Zoom in a little bit and see if we can see what they're marking back here. I think they marked every, like, tiny piece of trash or anything they found in the yard. I don't see anything there. I wish I could find the first 1 through 7 of the log. Hmm. Oh, no problem, Flower Power. We will see you on the replay. Yep, I'm zooming in, Syntaz, but I don't see anything there. And that's another view of it. So this is behind the shed. That's the shed that, someone was asking about a minute ago, Gypsy's play shed. Yeah, Stacia, hey, Michelle. Stacia said that, or I'm sorry, Stacia, Gypsy said in her book, she was mad at Dee Dee for buying that Nissan Cube, and she said that Dee Dee did it so that it wouldn't fit her motorized wheelchair, and because she felt like the manual wheelchair gave Dee Dee more control. I don't quite feel like that tracks because Dee Dee was having a hard time getting around because of her health and her size. So I don't feel like she would have intentionally chosen the manual wheelchair unless it wasn't like there was a financial reason why she had to go with that Nissan Cube. And that very well could be. We know Dee Dee didn't have great credit. She had the check fraud in the past and all that stuff. So, I thought that she paid cash for the Nissan Cube, but someone told me that she financed it, and if that's the case, she might have had to go with the place where she could get financing and where, they had something they were willing to finance her for based on her income, and her income was, I think, disability and Rod's child support. So, I don't know. Oh, good point, Brandy. Yeah. Yep, that's what all my rambling was about, Stacia, to get to your point there that she might not have had a choice in that Nissan Cube, but Gypsy really has taken it as something that Dee Dee did specifically to make her life harder, even though that, she knew that she could walk, you know? That's possible, Mandy. She might have put down 5,000 cash. I think she said that she got cash out, but she only spent 5,000 of it. Yeah. Yeah, possibly so, Toddy. Um, oh, awesome. Supplemental report on the Google Drive. Thank you, Sam. Let me go to that real quick. Just a second here, friends. There we go. Okay, so number one that we saw was the cigarette butt. Two was a clear piece of plastic in the grass, probably like a cigarette film. Three, black piece of plastic with small battery encased, like a broke toy or something. Four was a blue piece of wrapper in the southwest yard. Five was a purple piece of fabric. Six, a discarded piece of chewing gum on the concrete driveway. Seven, an orange plastic lid from unknown drink. Interesting. And in this picture, we're looking at numbers 5 and 6. Let me zoom in a little bit. 5 said purple piece of fabric. I don't see a purple piece of fabric. Maybe that? Then there's the gum that they talked about for number 6. I'm lost on the purple fabric, though. I look at the comments and see if y'all are seeing it. Oh, good point, Stacia. Barney is purple. Ooh, Kung Fu Panda taco buffet. That sounds good. I'm not sure whether offhand, Janice, whether they did or didn't, because yeah, Mel has this point here. Um, it was they completely stopped investigating once the plea deal happened. And before that, I found an article from where Hancock was interviewed the other day, and it's an article from before the plea deal, but quite several months into the investigation after the murder. And someone asked him about the Munchausen by proxy thing, and he said, "Well, there's a lot more to this case than what you think." And there are some things in the case that'll make you think that, but then there are others that seem like they're absolutely not that. So I really feel like Stan Hancock, at least, I don't know about the rest of them, but looking at the casebook and everything, it seems like they were committed to doing a full investigation until the plea deal happened and they got shut down. I could be wrong on that. If something comes out, it turns out I'm wrong, I will definitely say so. Yeah, good point there, John. So wrapped in mystery and horror. Hey, Fox and Faye. Yeah, I hate that too, Stacia. Yeah, and whenever it comes to testing everything, they were probably doing things, in an order of what was most prioritized and everything, and getting 2 different things, and then the plea deal shut it all down is my assumption. Absolutely, pretense. Yeah, I agree, PK. Plea deals really bother me, like, they don't seem like justice at all, and I don't have a legal education to fully wrap my mind around why they have to exist. I understand it's a money saving tactic for states, but just my God. What is this? Is that part of the drone maybe? I think so. The drone that was taking the pictures. Hey, into the weeds. Lulu B, what about for Nick's case? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Nick's uh after he confessed, I'm not sure if they kept researching other possibilities or if Nick's attorney asked for all the investigation they could have done, That's a good question that would be interesting to know. Number 7. Let me look at the orange plastic lid from unknown drink located on front porch. Let me zoom in a little. Isn't that one of the orange thing there, one of their marker tags? I don't actually see the lid. Let me check comments because I miss things sometimes and y'all set me straight in the comments. No, it wasn't a handicapped community, Brandy. It was a just a neighborhood in North Springfield where Habitat happened to already own a house, and so they had it built handicap equipped for them. It is a cute birdhouse, Mel. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Brandy. She's pretty lazy. We got another Mickey. Look at all those oxygen bottles out front. That's what that is, right? Oxygen bottles? Oh, Into the Weeds said they're still building habitat houses in that neighborhood, so maybe they own more than that one, or if they did at the time, I wasn't aware, but I didn't know that much about habitat. Oh, good point, Stacy. It might be underneath the marker. John says, "Is that a footprint?" Where at, John? I'm looking for a footprint. I'll zoom in a bit. I'm talking about this here. It kind of looks like maybe water wearing. I'm not seeing one on the ramp. Let me look at comments. Brandy says there were a lot of footprints on the porch because it was wet that day from the crew. That's true. I was wondering about that too, Stacia. I think Dee Dee was on oxygen. If anyone remembers, let us know in the comments. Yeah, I don't know, Brandy. But I do think the oxygen was Dee Dee's, but I could be wrong. That's just another overview. That's number 3 in the yard. Let me go to the supplemental report. It says black piece of plastic with small battery encased in it. I know there are close-up pictures of that as we go on through the file. I remember seeing them, and it looks like a broken toy of some kind. Number 2, let me see what that was. 2, small clear piece of plastic located in grass. That sounded like a cigarette wrapper film. And we're showing 1 again. Cigarette butt located on the driveway near the west side of the yard and southwest of the Nissan Cube. So this is the location of the cigarette butt. Zoom in a bit. The only other thing I can figure is maybe they'd already collected the pieces of evidence before these photos. There are other photos that show like the cigarette butt and everything in here, but like there are over 1,300 photos in this file. I think that's why a lot of people hadn't seen them. Hey, Barry. V Nell says, I think Dee Dee was on. I think so too. Uh, but there are 1,300 photos in this file. I think that's the reason why so many people haven't seen them all, is because as you're going through this file, if you're just clicking on these buttons, the back and forth, it the button will disappear. And if you don't close the preview and let it load the rest of the photos, you think you're at the end of the file when you're not. Hey, my pal Sal Vintage. Yeah, Stacy, I figure it's probably Gypsy or Dan's cigarette. I'm not sure. Here we got another overview of the ramp. And another. Overview of the yard. Just accidentally went fast over that last one. Okay, that's just the tire tracks again. As you can see, they really had neighbors all around, behind them and on each side, in front of them too. I do too, John. I like pastels. Good question. I thought I can't remember. I can't remember. There's maybe gypsies just talked about smoking so much, but we'll have to see. I've heard that, Cassie, but I didn't see that confirmed in the casebook, so I'd like to find more information about that. Yeah, the house was only 7 years old total, so and I don't think we'd had any bad storms in Southwest Missouri in the North Springfield area in that time, so the house was still in really good shape. Mandy said no cigarettes were found on her. Cigs were at Nick's house on the kitchen table. Yeah, Into the Weeds says there's a pack in Nick's kitchen, but I assume they were his parents. Hey, Laura. Thanks for dropping in. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Yeah, those sheds there in the greenhouse, see that those are outside of the crime scene tape, so they belong to someone else on the other side. There's another overview. You know, it's kind of funny. Let me go back just slightly here in this overview. This foliage that Gypsy was talking about that would hide them for, the fornication foliage isn't that wide of a line. They were gonna have to be pretty discreet in there, y'all. I think if I remember right, it was Dee Dee or Gypsy one kind of hinted to the Habitat people, and they decided to do that to make it nice for her. I can't remember for sure. Thank you, 1970. We got my husband in here supporting with memberships. He's so awesome. Okay, more overviews. Oh, wait a second. I think I missed something here. Oh, I guess not. I thought I saw, for just a second, I thought I saw tire tracks in the yard, but I guess I really don't. I'm not seeing really much to note here in the yard. Oh, that sucks, Janice. YouTube randomly chooses who gets the memberships. We don't get to decide, unfortunately. Brandy, I had heard of tracks in the yard too. I was trying to locate them, but I think maybe that was just confused with the tracks on the driveway. I guess we'll find out as we go. Hmm. They sure took a lot of angles of those tracks, didn't they, y'all? We went through almost like 100 pictures about them. Oh, see the black-eyed Susan flowers back there? Those grow wild everywhere in Southwest Missouri. Let me zoom in. Sorry, no, this is not related to the case. I just love wildflowers. See, those are the purple ones are echinacea, and they're good for your immune system in a tea. Blue bonnets. Hey, Megan Ray, I'm glad you got alive too. Toddy says, I think there were some, though. I think there really were some tire tracks in the yard. We're not seeing them in the pictures. So, Chelsea Patet, unless they show up later. Chelsea Patet said the tracks would fit the car they had at the time. The cube isn't very wide. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. The tracks are wider than her wheelchair ramps. So, it definitely just doesn't seem like it would be a wheelchair, but the cube was a really small, narrow vehicle. Okay. See what the next one is now that I've distracted us about flowers for a while. Oh, Into the Weeds says she thought the tire track was near the mailbox, so maybe we'll see it going forward. That's kind of an overview of their neighborhood. So yeah, like I said, they had a lot of neighbors all around. Number 4, that was blue piece of wrapper is what they marked there. And that's an overview of the shed and the fornication foliage. Yeah, it's really hard to move someone when they're completely passed out. I've never had to try and physically move someone who is deceased, but from what I understand from listening to mortician channels and stuff like that, it's a very, very difficult because they're, what's well, literally known as dead weight. They don't move their muscles at all to help in any way. And especially with a person who is as large as Dee Dee was at her time of death, I just don't see Nick and Gypsy being able to drag her around, or even Gypsy, Nick, and someone the size of Dan. But like I always say, I'm not infallible, y'all. I could be wrong. Number 3, that was black. Oh, that little broke toy. Fox and Faces, my partner works in the field and is nodding. Awesome, thank you. I did my research good then. There's that shows also how many neighbors they had around. Hey, Julia. No, you haven't really missed anything crazy. We saw some tire tracks that look like maybe Dee Dee peeled out the Nissan Cube or someone else did, but in the driveway. Other than that, nothing of huge consequence yet. They took a lot of drone pictures of overviews of the same things. I guess trying to be thorough in case they missed anything. Hang on, let me go back a minute. That's the first time I've seen those trash cans open. Let's zoom in and see if we can tell what's in there. Oh, that's the most it'll let me zoom in. It's too blurry to really see. They did flag something in this trash can. See the little orange flag there? Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of sheds. Brandy said the empty one is probably recycling. I can't remember if Springfield had recycling yet at the time. Uh, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Don't know. Oh, just me being real. Says it's a glove, hun. The blue. I bet you're right. Which now that would be really interesting if that was a glove because there was 2 bloody gloves that Gypsy mailed back with the knife. So, if they threw away a third for some reason, I wonder what was on it. But yeah, I can't it won't let me zoom in any more than that. That's as clear as we can get on it. Good catch, y'all. Hmm. Very, very interesting. Let's see what we got in the next ones. More overview here. And there's those tracks we were talking about. I'm trying to figure out where their mailbox is. I guess we'll see it soon, but I'm not seeing it up here. I do too. Just me being real. I love a big wraparound porch. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Angelica. Yeah, Shorty Pie, whose glove was it? I think if I remember right, their mailboxes are several mailboxes kind of clustered together for the houses. So the mailman only has to stop once. Boy, they were really interested in those tire tracks, yo. Toddy said a cul-de-sac. It was kind of a cul-de-sac-ish type deal, yep. Laura, he told me he has to do it on the computer. He didn't get the option on his phone. I don't know that they're wide enough to be a truck, but we do know that Dee Dee's car keys were stole a few times. I wonder if they towed Dee Dee's cube. If they towed her cube, it would leave tracks as they towed it, but then I wouldn't think they would feel the need to mark those for the murder scene, you know? Into the weeds. Do you know for sure if that area is a cul-de-sac? I can't remember. I know Into the Weeds drove through there recently. You see, those tire tracks are wider than her wheelchair ramp, but not a lot wider. I don't see that being a truck unless it was, I don't know, maybe a Ford Ranger. Into the Weeds says, no, it's not a cul-de-sac. It's a wraparound neighborhood. More overview. Yep, ramp for a shed too, Shorty Pie. It might have cul-de-sac style mailboxes, Toddy, but still not be a cul-de-sac. Yep, the blue shed had everything had a wheelchair ramp because whenever they were building it, they were under the impression that she really needed the wheelchair all the time. See what the next one is. Okay, see, there's the mailboxes. See how there's several there? Let me zoom in. Looks like 3 mailboxes there. So that'd be like Dee Dee and Gypsy in the house that's right up close to them, and I don't know, maybe another one over. But yeah, 3 mailboxes there together. No, they're not. At that time, Habitat for Humanity owned one there, but Habitat is building more houses there. They bought more land there, but the whole neighborhood is not owned or donated through Habitat. No. Hey, Anna Girl Empath. Yeah, Kung Fu. The shed was donated as part of the Habitat House, Gypsy's Play Shed. Let's see. Trying to get to something new because we're seeing a lot of the same things. I don't remember seeing that angle from that telephone pole before. Nikita, hey Gina. Nikita Alfie, there's one shed that is gypsies, but all these extra sheds here, those aren't actually on their property. They're outside of the crime scene line. Not that that guarantees that Gypsy never went in them and did anything weird, but they are not their property. See that the pictures without the crime scene tape is what gives people the impression that they had several sheds, but those are not theirs. More pics of the house. There's the fornication foliage, which looks pretty thick from this angle, but we know, like, you can see the house behind it back there. We know from the overview that it's just a very thin line of trees. Wonder what that is on the driveway. Trying to zoom in. Must just be mud or something. They didn't seem to find it noteworthy. Thanks for stopping in, Toddy. Appreciate it. Barry Tier says, so sad to imagine investigators taking all these photos, doing their diligence after seeing Dee's body, doing their jobs, to lock Gypsy up only for it to be in vain. Yep, when she got that plea deal, everything had to just stop. Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Gypsy did it because she said that, but there is trash in there. Very strange. Yeah, RL Fro, that is correct. Whenever I say donated, most of the habitat stuff that they use to make the house handicap accessible and things like that, and the shed and everything, that stuff was donated to Habitat. But Habitat does do a low interest loan whenever they quote unquote give somebody a house. So Dee Dee was making payments. The house wasn't totally for free whenever we say donated, but everything that was furnished by Habitat for the house was donated to Habitat. I agree, Chelsea. That plea deal was a travesty. Brandy says, "What? I meant somebody brought the trash cans back." Oh, brought them back up the driveway? Huh, yeah, I didn't think about that. More and more views of the outside. But yeah, see how that this street goes along in front of Gypsy and Dee Dee, and then this one back here goes back to another street that runs behind the fornication foliage and has more houses. So it's not a cul-de-sac. There's a curve on the street in front of Dee Dee and Gypsy, but it's regular squares. Hey, Yvona, how are you? Oh, yeah, that's absolutely correct. Not via habitat, though, via Gypsy and Dee Dee. And there's another view. Another view of the neighborhood. Like I said, this is the road that goes behind the fornication, leads to the road that goes behind the fornication foliage. That's forever its name now in my mind, the fornication foliage. 10 times? No, I would make a fool of myself. Start stumbling over my words. Man, they took a lot of pictures of the same things on the outside. Let's try and get to the inside, y'all. I'm gonna try and not totally. Oh, look at that. There we go. Number 56 inside. Let's see what they say 56 is. 56 possible blood swab located on an upper portion of exterior door frame of storage room. Wait, we really went from outside to inside all of a sudden, just as I was saying that. I think they thought these were possible blood drops on the door. 55 says the same thing. Possible blood swab from exterior door frame of storage room. Another blood drop, the same area. So it looks like the storage room and maybe kitchen doors were next to each other. Let's see what 54 says. Roll of paper towels with possible blood located on top counter of the bathroom. I wonder if we're on the right one. Let me go to the other doc. 54 plastic. Okay, yeah. I need to be looking at the supplemental doc and the FOIA, not Stan Hancock's casebook, because I think that list was for a different set of pictures. Okay, 54 plastic blue cup located on rim of the bathtub. I guess somebody was drinking Pepsi in the bathroom. Yeah, Pepsi. We all had the same thought at the same time. Where's the Pepsi? We found it. Someone get fancy. No, we can't say her name too many times. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. Oh my. Drinking a Pepsi and shaving for the 100th time, someone said. Okay, we still got the Pepsi. Pepsi in the bathtub with a tiny little stir straw. That seems so weird. Oh, okay. I wondered what bucket you were asking about, Janice. That's funny. I can see where you thought it was a bucket without scale. kind of like this fish decor thing Dee Dee's got going on over here. Irish Spring. Huh. I wonder who liked to use Irish Spring, Dee Dee or Gypsy? Or are they thinking that Nick took a bath or shower in there afterwards? I wouldn't think so because she had uh they both still had blood on them and stuff, you know? But maybe Dee Dee just liked Irish Spring. Lots of pictures of the Irish Spring. Oops. I hit the next button too soon. I wonder who they had paint their little mural here. I feel like they had a lot of artists doing things for them. Yeah, good point, Mel. Neither one of them did. We know that from the interrogation, but Gypsy writes in her book about Nick not doing it as if she, was so perfect. Yep, same. And that's another thing. The bathtub looks very clean. Like I don't see soap scum, hair. I don't see dust accumulated around stuff. Like it seems like Dee Dee was managing to clean at some point because we know that Gypsy definitely wasn't doing it. We feel pretty sure about that. Um, so it just feels like Dee Dee was managing to do some cleaning, and the hoarding and the clutteredness likely came from her, either getting in a mental state about hoarding, clinging on to things after losing stuff and Katrina and stuff like that, or simply from lack of mobility, because we know that can happen. See what that next one is. We got a Kenny Chesney cup. Going Coastal 2011. Oh, it's in the bathtub. Gypsy was probably using that to rinse the shampoo off her cats or something. Ugh. Got more wipes. Let's see what 51 is. Bathroom sink trap located on the counter. Okay. Oh, maybe they took that because it was obvious that they had washed some blood away in the bathroom. So maybe they actually took the trap to test. I'm not sure. That is possible, Nikita. Gypsy wrote in one of her prison emails that Dee Dee felt like their life in Springfield was going to fall apart soon and started looking at habitat houses in Alaska. She wanted to get to a place where nobody knew them at all. And then her health took a downturn. I can't remember what she said her mom got diagnosed with. And then she gave up on that. And that was a couple of years before the murder. So she might have started packing up before the bad downturn of health and then just never could like get it finished or do anything different with it. And Jip was lazy. See how there's some cat fur like around the very inner edge, and we don't see that on like the edges of the bathtub or hardly anything. The bathroom floor is actually dirtier than most of the rest of the house. This is the dirtiest floor I've seen whenever we're looking through their stuff. Someone says, "Isn't there?" Yeah, there is a litter box right in between the cabinet and the toilet. Hmm. What is number 50? Single paper towel with possible blood located in the bathroom sink. Okay. I don't see any blood, but maybe they saw that in the crumpled part. They sure took a crap ton of pictures of it. Okay, now we got number 49. That one says roll of paper towels with possible blood located on the top counter of the bathroom. Oh, yeah, good point there, RL. Yeah, I was thinking it was strange that they would have left that too. But a lot of the things that she left were strange. If it just had Nick's blood on it, she might have thought that was good to leave behind to get him framed. Because she clearly didn't clean up all the blood spots. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. Yeah, that's what she indicated in those emails. No, there is a mortgage payment. Habitat houses, like, they're donated in the sense that most of everything that, is in the house and the labor and the stuff is all donated, but whenever someone gets a house from Habitat, they get a low interest mortgage, low payment mortgage, and often get a mortgage that they wouldn't have had the credit to get otherwise, but they do have a small payment with, a lot of options for deferment and stuff like that that you don't get with as much with a regular bank. What is the tube to the side of the glade? Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, it's a dial soap, it looks like. Whoops. My zoom always seems like it's not happening and then it's way too much. Yeah, that's some sort of dial soap. And then this, I don't know, maybe an empty bottle of medicine? Can't tell there. You're welcome, Mel. Yeah, you're welcome, Barry. Yeah, still not a bad deal at all. I thought I did see a toothbrush, but we'll see. Maybe I saw it in the bedroom. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not sure, Mel. It's turned in a way that it's all just, the small, small writing. That's what I thought too, Joy, but I don't know. No toothbrushes in this picture. We still got no toothbrushes. Let's see what 48 says. DNA swab of light switch located on the east wall bathroom. Looks like there's blood right up here. Hmm. Um, 47 says possible blood swab of sink located in bathroom. Yeah, I think they're swabbing trace amounts of blood that they tried to clean. That's why we can't see it very good. 46 says possible blood swab of the exterior upper door of the bathroom. Ugh, yeah, that one's obvious. Tori, I think so. Steffi said the toothbrush was up her hidey hole. Is that something blue in the sink? I think that was just the paper towel. Let me go back real quick. Yeah, just the paper towel. So this is the door opening into the bathroom. There's her diaper bag hanging there. And the baptismal certificates were on the wall and the Pope in between the bathroom and storage room door. Oh, she said go back. There is something blue in the sink. Hang on. I'm not seeing anything blue in the sinks there, Mel. Okay, where were we? The Pope and the baptismal picture between the door. More blood on the door. That's such a weird place for the blood to be. Oh, there's the blood on top of the paper towels. Yeah, I should just straight left that there. Yeah, you're welcome, Mel. Hey, Artist Life. Thanks for being here. Tracy O'Malley says, in the bathroom near the sink, there's a small screw. Why and what is it from? That's probably from where, honestly, from where Dee Dee was putting that lock on the medicine cabinet. Because it looked like she had just recently been doing that. Which would make sense because it was just months before the murder when she reported her cash and her narcotics stolen. Yep, there's the screws you're talking about. Yep, RL, I think so. There we got the paper towel in the sink again. This little part here, that's the drain. Man, they took a lot of pictures of those paper towels. There's the screws again. Okay, yeah. So here's the Nissan Cube, and it does look like it aligns. Its tires would align with how those tracks were. Hey, Diana. Thanks for being in here. Interesting, interesting. So I think we can definitely conclude those tracks are the cube, but it's weird that they look pulled or something. Lots of pictures of the cube. Let's see, 45 says Nissan Cube located in driveway 2103 Volunteer Way. Oh, let's zoom in here. These look like, oh, these are little earrings. Harry Potter earrings. Polydent for partials. It's like a random jewelry junk drawer. Those are contact lens holders, right? That's what I was just wondering, Shara. Who wore those contact lenses? Because I don't remember ever. Oh, nice, Julia. That's awesome. I don't remember ever seeing Dee Dee in glasses. Moderate climber, so she probably did contacts for cosplay. That's possible. Rain BC. Where are you seeing that at, Mel? Oh, Rainbow New Work High Res Clear. I think that might be a disposable camera film or something. Hmm. Yeah, Gypsy's glasses are all on the hand towel ring, and I've never heard of her wearing contacts. Very strange. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so this drawer is in the bathroom. Oh, looky there, y'all. That's part of that hasp for the medicine cabinet. See that? By the screws. The Dee Dee had been working on that, y'all. Hey, CJB. I wonder that too, Mel, if she wears contacts now. They're probably just cosplay contacts, honestly. But yeah, that the screws and hasp are right there. Huh. And there's a broom and dustpan in there. I noticed that the floor in here is dirtier than the floor in any other part of the house. I wonder if Dee Dee was managing a system with her cleaning and like just hadn't got to the bathroom floor yet before the murder, because it really struck me how much dirtier the bathroom floor is than the rest of the house floor. Yep, screws in the hasp. Oh, that's a good point, Ivona. I'm not sure how contacts work with a lazy eye. Mhm. That's funny, though. Does anyone in comments know how if contacts work with a lazy eye? Oh, y'all, we found a toothbrush. It's unopened and it's not electric. Oh man. Tori said Bree said on a live the other day, Jip still wears glasses sometimes. Believe that if you want to. Yeah. Yep. So we found one to unopened non-electric toothbrush. What else have we got in here? Whoa, the zoom went way too far again. Oh, we got some Twilight pins, razors, it looks like, razor blades, more earrings. Yeah, I think she was earlier on in Emu, but I think when her mobility and health went downhill, that and also her mental health too, that the hoarding and cleaning altogether just kind of got away from her is my impression. Like I always say, y'all, I could be wrong. There's kind of an overview. We see the litter box right there. It's like relatively normal stuff underneath. Caress soap, alcohol, Johnson's baby powder, more alcohol, some lotion, maybe. I don't know what this stuff is. Is that a bag full of razors? Can't tell. Yeah, that's a good point. Love Shack Sarah. Yeah, my pal Sal, she was 23. Did she say once she had a choice? Yeah, she did. She talked about how her mom got it done when she was a baby, but she was totally thinking about getting Aurora's done as a baby until Ken said no, she needs to decide for herself. And she's like, oh, okay. Oh, what do we see up here? Hang on. Is that an electric toothbrush and a holder up there, y'all? Or a regular toothbrush? Right here. Hmm. What do y'all think, friends? Yep, good point, Luna. Yeah, absolutely, Sarah. Well, and then plus two, like, even though, like I've said many times, hey, Ari, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Even though they weren't at the Superdome or anything like that, they were still Katrina victims from what I can tell. They lived in Slidell in Section 8 housing. And Slidell, it wasn't like New Orleans in the sense that Slidell wasn't below sea level. It didn't have the bowl effect. They didn't have bodies floating in the street and they weren't trapped. But their area and their homes and everything were often nothing but slabs left. And Dee Dee and Gypsy's Section 8 housing was badly flooded. They didn't have anything really salvageable. So they definitely were Katrina victims. And I can imagine that that played on Dee Dee's mind. And that can, losing everything in a natural disaster like that can really bring on mental health hoarding tendencies in a person because they want to keep everything because they're worried about having nothing again. So that and, her declining health and mobility, I can definitely see the house getting in this kind of state. Allie, Allie, oh my god. Let's see what the next one is, friends. Yeah, like I said, the floor was dirty in this bathroom, dirtier than any other floor in the house. However, there was hardly any dust on the bathtub. The sink and counter is relatively clean. So I really wonder if, Dee Dee was just kind of doing a little bit at a time. Maybe the floor was going to be her next thing. And she didn't get to it because she got murdered. Paradox prescription mouthwash because she used her toothbrush in the wrong place. Yeah. I know, just brilliant. I kind of feel the same, and we all know that, I try to be very real about Dee Dee and not gloss over the things that I feel she did. But I feel the same whenever people talk about the shocking state of their house. When you take into account Dee Dee's mobility and, possible mental health issues from Katrina and stuff like that, it's really not that bad. Like, it could be so much worse. So much worse. There's the edge of the bathtub. Again, like I said, it's very clean. The only thing not really clean in the bathroom is the floor. Somebody's Pepsi. You know what, y'all? Think about it. Looks like that Pepsi still has carbonation in it. Weird. See the bubbles? Huh. Yeah, I have emergency supplies too because of tornadoes that we've been through. It's not fun. When you got no electricity, no water, like, uh, yeah, you determine things to keep on hand for the next time that's gonna happen. Oh, I totally agree, Crystal. Yep, I understand, Fox and Faye. Oh, that's an interesting observation, Sonny. She could have in trying to clean up the blood if they slung blood everywhere. That's a possibility. That would make the Pepsi even weirder. It would have probably had been drunk by Gypsy or Nick in that case. Oh my lord. That litter box hadn't been cleaned in some time, y'all. Because I doubt the cats were using it after the murder when they let them out. So, ew. Yeah, I agree, Stacy. Yeah, there's a story about how she shaved her cat in there and clogged up the jets. I think Into the Weeds made a similar comment, Moderate Climber. I think she said she had read that. Good question. Oh, Lord CDB. The Jip was filling up that litter box when Dee Dee was yelling for her. Jip's kitten kink supports her using the litter box. Oh, man. Okay, Allie Allie. Now he was committing crimes against humanity. I didn't need to think about that. Tori said that was probably Gypsy's job to care for her cats. Yeah. Oh, y'all are cracking me up. Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh, okay. I was wondering if that blue handle was a toothbrush for a minute, and then it's some sort of cleaning tool handle. Why is there litter in the bottom of the toilet? Hey, Miss Swifty. Do y'all see that there's litter in the toilet here? Let me zoom in. That is so weird. Love Shack Sarah says it's cigarette ashes. I don't know. It looks like cat litter to me. I've never seen cigarette ashes settle to the bottom of the. Well, maybe they have. I don't know. Weird, weird. Yeah, might be ashes. I don't know. That would mean someone was smoking in the house and went outside. I would assume they would have had to have done that after the murder. Good God. What's this thing over here? Let me zoom in. Oh, that's the arm of her wheelchair. Never mind. Oh, you know what? I bet that's right, Petra. But that's why there's litter in there. Could be litter and ashes. Who knows? But yep. Oh, Love Shack Sarah is doing science for us, y'all. Thank you for the experiment, Love Shack Sarah. You're on it. Speaking of smoke, I'm gonna have a little smoke break here while we're looking. I feel like I need some smoke after some of these pictures. Ooh. It's always the scientific Sarah. Yeah, it's just really gross that she was sitting over a litter box while her mom was screaming for her help while she was dying. Looks like they took extra photos of the litter box too. Oh, there's the razor. Hey, Opus. Yeah, I need some bleach. My pal Sal, I don't smoke cigarettes. It's medical marijuana is legal where I live. That's what I have. If recreational was legal, it would be recreational marijuana. It's interesting that Dee Dee's little her flower decorations and the little picket fence decoration that she has around the bottom of the walls in the bathroom, they don't have dust on them. So I wonder if they were new, or again, does that insinuate that some cleaning was being done, maybe in stages? I don't really see any dust settled on the diaper bag either. Guess some diapers was getting used. Thank you, Julia. Smoking with me in spirit. Yeah, I definitely don't think she stayed in there, Sonny. She might have went in there and shaved, but I think she came out. Oh, it's so creepy whenever they show the wheelchair, the back of the wheelchair in the darkened bathroom like that. Something about it just looks more murdery. What do y'all think? There, light, way less creepy. I don't know. That wheelchair with the back to you is still creepy. I still really wonder who Dee Dee had do the murals. Yeah, Crystal, the tub and toilet and sink look really clean. The bathroom creeps me out too, Froggy. I was thinking maybe Dee Dee was cleaning in phases because it looks really clean until you look at the floor. The floor is dirty. I was thinking maybe she hadn't got to that yet, but someone else mentioned that Gypsy might have wiped off those surfaces trying to clean away the blood. Ooh, a vape that tastes like peaches. That sounds nice. Tasty. Yeah, I agree, RL. Oh man, just brilliant. I wish you guys could get that in Sweden. You guys have so many cool things in Sweden. It's too bad you can't have good marijuana. It's another view. I like her stained glass window film. I know a lot of people don't, but I think it's cool looking. I think it'd be cool on a few windows. Yeah, I'm not sure, Mel. That could be, yeah. And that's why that blood would be that high up on the door. I was wondering about that because it didn't look like a slinged drip or anything. The Dream Princess. Oh my. That's gotta be Gypsy Rose up there, I'm sure. Oh no, it says circa 1959. And there's our dolls. All that film was to fulfill her stupid princess. Yeah. I didn't realize it'd been legal in Canada for a long time, Ivona. That's cool. Yeah, sour diesel. That's a good strain. Yeah, could be my lazy hounds. All the stuff. There's our pink princess TV. Looks like this is signed by some of the Kansas City Chiefs. See if we can tell who. Number 7, number 4, 13, 8. I mean, obviously those numbers are probably changed around, but I can't tell what these names are. But this is interesting. I never noticed the signed Kansas City Chiefs ball. Did any of y'all? I remember her going on and on about being a Chiefs fan because she's from Missouri too, to Ryan before she first got out, before Missouri told her to get the hell out of the state. You're not going to a Chiefs fan. Someone asked, what are the books? Encyclopedia. The Doctor Lives and Time. The Doctor's Lives and Times, Doctor Who, I think. I think these are DVDs, not books. Imagineering. Disney's Imagineering. Got a doll head. Oh Lord, y'all. Do we see any toothbrushes in here? I don't see any. I think our eyes are safe. Hey, mystery girl, you're welcome. Hey, Roxy. Diet Pepsi drinker. Let's see what else we got. Crochet doll. Somebody probably handmade that for her. Looks like it might be native, intended to look native. Well, thank you, Jenna. I appreciate that. The infamous 3-ring binder, I'm not sure. We were just wondering, CJB, if she got that out of the house. I've never seen her mention it in the emails that I can think of. I agree, Jeannie. Yeah, I was wondering, I'm gonna zoom in and see if those are her Special Olympics medals. Yeah, they might be, Love Jack, Sarah. Uh, it's too blurry for me to tell. Are any of you familiar with the Special Olympics logo? Is that it? I'm not sure. Let me check the comments real quick. Mel says next to the penguin. Let me see. Where's the penguin? Oh, we talking about the African American doll? Yes, they did take pictures of Nick's house too. They're in the file. I'll go through them in another live. The ones that got banned here in the UK. Oh, the doll. Gotcha. That might be older from Dee Dee's time. Right, Sonny? Yeah. This one looks like an older black lady doll with a Mardi Gras mask on. The one with the green sleeves. I've never seen a doll quite like that other than in New Orleans. Excuse me. 1970 brought me a chocolate shake, so I'm trying to drink it while I'm talking. Do you think Jip fit between the toilet and the tub? Yep. The litter box is between the toilet and the cabinet. Let's see what we got in the next one. Maybe we can see the metals clearer in some of these. Oops. Trying to zoom in here, y'all. Oh, those are Olay Foundation. They say Olay Foundation. It's got the different years. I can't remember what all she did at the Olay Foundation, but that's also where she rang the bell. I think there's another one over here too. I guess that one's the same thing. Yeah, right, Mel? There was nothing different to her room than the rest of the house. Still didn't see any toothbrush there. It looks like one of those old school doll baby cradles there, and then another one here. Is that? Let me zoom in. Are these baby clothes? Yeah, there's a doll. I wonder if these are some of the baby clothes she stole that she talked about. I really think they are. I think those are baby clothes. They're all around her doll baby stuff. What do y'all think, friends? Hmm. Let's see what the next one is. She had a little heater here. It was covered in dust. How to Train Your Dragon plushie. Princess stuff. This looks like some of her cosplay costumes. Oh, look at all her shipping boxes. She says Dee Dee wouldn't throw away boxes. She had boxes stacked in her room too. I love Toothless too, Joy. Toothless is so cool. Probably so, Janine. What is this thing here? Is this some sort of, oops, I'm going to zoom out on it. This thing back here, some sort of walker equipment? I'll probably see in another picture. Well, I don't know what that is. Let me look at the comments. Do any of y'all know what that is? Hey, Kay. No problem. She says she's late and going back to the start. No worries. Hmm. Someone said maybe a stand for an easel. I haven't seen one like that. Zoom in. It's like something that folds out to wheel around. Looks like she's got some books here, some kind of probably a feather Mardi Gras mask, some bagged up clothes, her own little collection of mailing boxes and other boxes. Love Shack Sarah said maybe a projector screen stand. Yep, they did do outdoor movie nights until Dee Dee got sick there at the last. Stacy also says it could be an IV pole. That could either one of those things would work. I'm not familiar with either one. Now the bed, I know in his interrogation, Nick said that, or maybe Gypsy, I can't remember which one. They said that they took all the toys off the bed and then did their murder sex and then they put them all back on. However, when we get to the point where they did the luminol, like the black light photo on the bed, it's just kind of on the edge. So it seems more like if they did anything, like they just kind of were on the edge here. You know what I mean? Kind of like right around here, right around there. Yeah, a lot of baby dolls. We saw 2 in the floor, and there's 2 more on the bed, in addition to all the other random stuffed animals. We got more of Jip's costumes, movie, bagged up art supplies. Oh, yeah, she was quite the painter. Look, there's a painting of their house. She probably did. Here, let me zoom in a bit. See back here, y'all? That's their house. And this bag is her Dollar Tree art supplies. See there? Oh, that's possible too, Tori. So the spot on the bed. CJB said Aurora will be cooking dinner for all in no time. Yep, lots of toys and dresses and wigs. There's the painting and the art supplies. That's a good way of describing it, Janine. Guess this is the top of her closet. Bunch of crap. I mean, honestly, this is nice Disney stuff, but Gypsy had so much of it that it just becomes overflow, critical mass. She has so much Star Wars and Harry Potter stuff. It's crazy. Yep, our Afro. There's another view of it. All of our princess dresses. The Patriots. I wonder why she had that. I remember her talking about Tom Brady a little bit in emails. Huh. Yeah, right. Buttons, Bashan. She said, how abusive to give your child so much. Yep. More art supplies. Look at that. There's the handprint painting. There's her little easel. How funny, y'all. It's hilarious. There's the infamous handprints. They remind me so much every time I see them of that one scene in the Blair Witch Project where you see all the kids' handprints on the walls of the witch house. This shows you once again right here. This is inside Gypsy's bedroom, how her door looked straight in onto Dee Dee's bed. Isn't that wild, y'all? And she talks about walking by the open door to the bedroom and seeing her mom buried in her own chaos under the pile of blankets. Oh, thank you, RL. But yeah, yeah, it's really, really creepy to me that they did that. And especially looking at this angle too, you can see how if they were just on the edge of the bed, you definitely would have been able to see right in there. Crazy. Hang on just a second. What was that doll there is wild looking. There's all the decor. Yeah, she said she slept with Dee Dee every night, but her and Nick had their thing, on her bed, is what she claims. We all suspect it was actually with Dee Dee, but who knows? There's her I'm special. What's this down here? Can anyone tell what those are? Let me go to the comments real quick. I'm really curious. I can't tell. Looks like something with very thin material with little white dots. Some elastic. I don't know. Maybe some underwear, but very weird. Also, I wish I could see what DVD was underneath those. Don't know why. I'm just curious. It's It's not a diaper, it's too thin. Diaper cover? Let's see what else we got. Another view of her piles of stuff. And another. Oh, Jana said it might be a hairnet. That could be right. Yeah, it does Fox and Faye for real. Hmm. Let's see what 44 is. I'm sure, yeah, another DNA blood swab. And that says light switch of the master bedroom. So they're in Dee Dee's room for this one. I think Dee Dee's room is the only one that had red paint on the wall, so we can recognize it by that. One thing I want to look for as we're looking through these pictures of Dee Dee's room is Gypsy's nightgown is supposed to be in there. Her white nightgown with the flowers. And I think she slipped up in her book and mentions taking that off after the murder, but yet it's in Dee Dee's bedroom. So yeah, let's see what we can find there. 42. That one says Disney wallet located by master bed. Is that a Nintendo DS up there? Spoiled gyps. Yep, Nintendo 3DS XL. So Jip said that too. Chapstick. That medicine was Keppra, seizure medicine. Amber had a note there. Says Levetrinecta or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's a generic for it. I was just going by Amber's note on that. I took a lot of pictures of that wallet. Is this? I think this is part of Dee Dee's CPAP machine, that black box and with the tubes. And it's got a lot of that white dust on it too. Probably the carpet cleaner, deodorizer stuff. $39. VTech phone with answer machine located on nightstand southeast of the master bed. They had multiple landlines, it seems like. I wonder there's no telling what Gypsy got up to on those landlines. They're not quite as traceable as cell phones. This must be a remote for something over here. There's some pink nail polish, but I think that's a lighter pink than what they were using at the end. Now, this medicine here that says shaky honey on it, that's Dee Dee's. It's prescribed to Dee Dee. And remember, they called each other honey and baby. Dee Dee was honey. See, Claudine, take my mouth. Generic for, but then it doesn't say, but yeah, shaky honey, that was Dee Dee. I wonder if that was a note for Gypsy to help give it to her somehow. Thank you, CJB and Ivona, all y'all. Oh, that's a creepy thought, Roxy. That's not impossible, though. This here, I think, is just Afrin, the nasal spray. See what 38 says. I'm almost scared. Wet wipes located, trash can, master bedroom. Ugh, so she was cleaning up blood with those. Yeah, I agree, RL, from what I know. Ugh, what's that? Hmm. I don't know, and it doesn't have a tag for us to reference. Oh, look, more Pepsi, y'all. Where's the Pepsi? Yeah, you're probably right, Diet Pepsi drinker. I'm trying to show your comment. Someone let me. There we go. You know, that is weird, Mel. Let's not give her the idea, though. She'll be saying it soon. Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to sit in the chairs in there. That Pepsi bottle was in the trash can in Dee Dee's bedroom, it says. -A. I guess that was straws being used or out of the trash can or something. Let me go look at the supplemental doc. It says blue plastic cup located in trash can next to master bed. Evidence 36-A, two straws which had been located previously in the blue cup. So there was a blue cup by the bed, like the blue cup in the bathtub. Yeah, it sounds like it. And also, Janine, when I was reading through the supplemental casebook or Stan Hancock's casebook, I didn't realize that most of their Springfield neighbors who came to talk to the police right after the murder said that Dee Dee was wheelchair bound. They were reporting that Dee Dee and Gypsy were both wheelchair users. That wasn't the case before the 2008, before they got the Habitat House in Springfield, but they lived there in Springfield in the Pink House for 7 years. So that's a lot of time for a lot of things to change and for Dee Dee's health to go downhill. Okay, so they took everything out of Dee Dee's trash can and individually processed it. See what 34 says it is. 34 plastic spray bottle of cleaner located on top of projector in southwest corner of master bedroom. Okay, so that was their projector. Hmm. It's a weird looking cleaner to me. 33 says possible blood swab located on inner southeast door casing in master bedroom. They pretty much just photograph that door frame from every angle. See what 32 says. Possible blood swab located on red binder north of master bedroom floor. I bet that's the infamous 3-ring binder. Yeah, I agree. Art is life. Well, plus it's really weird to me that Gypsy and her friends keep making the argument of, okay, so even what if there was no medical abuse? It was still wrong. Gypsy deserved to be a normal girl. And yeah, my argument back to that is what I keep saying. So do lots of Amish kids, FLDS kids, very deeply conservative kids in a lot of different areas would love to be normal kids, and they don't have that chance, and they're not getting excuses to murder their parents about it. Let's see. No telling what kind of information's in that binder, don't y'all think? Pretty sure I've seen Dee Dee wear that moo. 31 says possible blood swab located on plastic bag north of master bed. Right, Janine. Yep. And Ivona. Tori, yeah, they keep moving the goalpost on her excuse. Exactly, RL. Yep. The same Love Shack Sarah. I left home early as a teenager, before 18. Yeah, I read that. Joy. More blood on bags of clothes. I wonder why the clothes were bagged up. Was Dee Dee going to give stuff away? Was it stuff that was given to them in bags? Or was this kind of like what we were thinking about before? Was this Dee Dee thinking about moving before her health took a downhill and she was bagging stuff up? Because so much is bagged up and it creates clutter sitting all around, but it's been bagged up at some point in a rather organized way. I mean, not this stuff, obviously, but a lot of the stuff is that way. You know what I mean? Well, Roxy, I think there's definitely something Dee Dee was wanting to do that Gypsy was trying to keep hidden because we saw that in that one FOIA that Into the Weeds did that got all the police reports on Dee Dee before the murder, we know that, Gypsy or, somebody was stealing Dee Dee's mail, outgoing mail, and dumping it in a neighbor's yard, and some of it had pictures of Gypsy. So I think there's something Dee Dee was wanting to do or trying to tell people about Gypsy that Gypsy tried to keep hidden for literally years before her death. Um, yes, it did, Tori, the one email. Luna, when you said where would they move to, Gypsy said in one of her prison emails to someone that, Dee Dee felt like their life in Springfield was starting to fall apart, and she was looking at Habitat for Humanity houses in Alaska, wanting to get them completely away and, to where nobody knows them, but that Dee Dee's health went downhill, and then that didn't was she wasn't able to follow through with that. So, I don't know if Jip was telling the total truth there, but in her emails, she's definitely more unguarded than she is talking in other, more public ways. So, and I could kind of see Dee Dee being scared that, Gypsy is everybody in Southwest Missouri always thought Gypsy was gonna die any moment. And, she's obviously not dying. Whatever else problems she has, she's not dying. And so as time went on, that was becoming more and more obvious, and I do think that Dee Dee, was a little panicked about that and wondering what they were gonna do, but then her health went too far downhill to worry about it. Then Jip had her own plan. That's just my thoughts, though. I could be wrong, y'all. A random pillow. Hmm. Well, friends, we have been on for 2 hours, and there are, let's see, 511 more pictures to go through. So, how do y'all feel about same time, same place tomorrow? We'll go through the rest of them if we can get through them all. I don't think so, Luna. I think that I don't know what she would have had to do to get one in Alaska, and it might not have been something that was possible. It might have been something she just randomly mentioned at one point, and she might have even done it, like, in frustration, like, "Well, Gypsy, if you're gonna act this way, we'll move to Alaska." And or it could have been serious, who knows? But, it's just something that Gypsy mentioned in one of her emails, and like I said, her emails do seem to show her more unguarded, but she still knew that the prison guards were going through all of her emails, so there was still a guardedness in there too. So, yeah. Well, I'm glad to see so many of you in comments saying you will be here tomorrow, hang out with me and go through more pictures. I appreciate it. I'm really enjoying this with y'all. I think we're learning some things and refreshing ourselves on some things. So, thank you all so much. I don't have a palette cleanser ready today, but before tomorrow's, I will get one filmed and have it ready to go. No worries, Ivona. You just come in when you can. I appreciate you. I appreciate all y'all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this, friends. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow.